10 minutes while this thing tried to reboot. I just kind of sneakily pressed the reset button.
And we are live. Hello to anyone who might be watching. Welcome back to Humblewood, Heroes of Humble Origin. I am Sarah, your dungeon master with all of my friends. Most of. We are still waiting on one Brian to join us, our Gwen, and unfortunately our Hannah/Rivia will not be able to join us tonight as work happens. So, does anyone have any announcements before we get started?
I've reopened art commissions today, so check me out on Twitter at turn2page394 or on Instagram turn2page394_art. I will have a Google Doc on both of those accounts with all the details on how to commission me. I have 5 slots open.
My campaign, Chronicles of Naraya, will be ready very soon. I am working out the last couple of things with the Session 0/opening, and then I will start recruiting players for it. So hopefully that will be going well. I'm aiming towards either Tuesdays or Saturdays. Those are currently my 2 open days. So, yeah. Fun times happening soon. You like dragons?
Very nice. Anybody else? Any announcements? Only thing I really have is if you haven't checked out www.society6.com/AKI Obsession, they have recently added desk mats to things that you can order. And as per request of Mitch, one of our friends who's used to be on this game as Galen, but not anymore, the one of the tree with all of the smoke and shit behind it is a desk mat.
Nice.
So, there are options. All right.
I have a very, very small announcement.
Okay, what is your small announcement?
The other day I made for the very first time lemon coconut shortbread cookies with a little lemon glaze on top. Y'all can get this recipe at Sally's Baking Addiction. Did it first try and it's amazing. Okay.
Awesome.
I know it's mine. Okay, that's it.
I will eat them all. Babushka.
Then without further ado, does anyone want to try and do the recap for inspiration? Remembering that inspiration stacks in my game.
Sorry, I can't even remember what happened yesterday.
Honestly. I remember.
Go for it, Gerald.
I don't. Gerald.
Okay, so last time on Humblewood, we started our day fairly normally. We had our various adventures out and about in the city. Gwen was recovering from her horrendous nightmare, which was real sad. Right before the day started, we recapped where they went over the night. Showery was working on Gerald's desk. Gerald was working on his impression of the raptor. Zinzi's was chilling, and Shango was looking over her maps. Gwen was having a nightmare. Fun times all around. Rivia was, I think, maybe hanging out with Zinzi's, I think Hannah had to leave early, so I don't know if you guys could tell what she did. But the next day, several of our party members went out shopping. We do some clothes shopping, a little bit of here and there. Gerald went and visited a blacksmith, commissioned a weapon. Zinzi's went to Eliza's to hang out with the kids and give Eliza a bit of a break and sort of check up on them, make sure they're doing good. And while everyone's out and about having their own fun little adventures, getting their supplies and stuff, they receive a tell. They don't receive a message right away. There's a great commotion in the city as Benna has arrived in the city, stepping into it for the first time since she and her mother were turned away from aid, which is probably something people are very much avoiding talking about. Walking through the streets with a small entourage of Pierceguard and Speaker Avery. Gerald, being the closest with access to sending, message Avery. She's like, "Hey, guess what? We're coming to your house." He's like, "Oh, good. Turn on the tea." Then they all reconvene at the house, where they talk with Benna and Avery about the disappearance of Sergeant Alden, where Gerald says, "I know who it is. It's Barnabas. We need to find out where he's hiding him." And they discuss possible locations, deciding that the most likely location that no one goes to, that he might be using as a place to stash him, is the old windmill to the northwest of the fort. It's up high.
It's east of the Coalition.
East of the Coalition. Yeah. Granted, it's so far in the north, everything's kind of north. East of the Coalition, and that is where they will need to go to hopefully find Alden, and that's kind of where we left off.
We did, I will say, leave off as well with, after this conversation, Benna turns to Zinzi's and asks for a word.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That was where we left off.
And that is where we're going to pick up. Zinzi's. Just instant, no thank you.
I choose life.
Zinzi's. You are still at the table as Benna has turned to you and says, "You, I wanted to speak with you." Yes, you.
Why?
Just follow me, and gets up and starts to walk out the door.
What an insight checker.
Go ahead and insight check.
Yeah, +1. Natural 1. So
She is hard to read. This is a very intense woman. You don't know if she wants to talk, if she wants to kill you, if she's going to, propose marriage. You have no understanding of this woman at all.
The rest of the group is near me, right?
Oh yeah, the rest of them are still at the dining room table.
Okay.
I just looked at them, I'm like, if I don't come back in half an hour, send a search party. And I get up.
Can I insight check this person?
You can insight check Benna as well. Yes.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
get up
let's
and
see.
slowly follow out.
Gerald is going to assume that Ben is not going to try and stab one of his friends in the middle of a city.
10.
He's like, I'm gonna hope.
She seems like a very straightforward person. You don't read anything more than that. I mean, Showery?
I would like to cast Arcane Eye, which is invisible, and I would like to have it follow Zinzi's.
What are the components?
Verbal, somatic, and material, a bit of bat fur, which I can pull out of my component pouch.
Make a sleight of hand check.
I can do that. I have not pre-rolled any of these. +4, 19.
19. I should probably actually pull up Benna's sheet to see if she notices, and Speaker Avery's sheet, because she's still sitting at the table. Just saying.
Yeah, probably should have went to my room first, but you know.
And open. Right. Okay. And Okay. No one seems to notice.
Cool. It just stays within 15 feet of Zinzi's. It can only see, not hear.
Okay. Zinzi's, do you follow after Benna?
I do.
Alright, she kind of leads you outside, finds a more quiet area outside of the building, and is just kind of cross-armed staring down at you for a minute, waiting for you to fully approach before just...
Approach. Tail held high. Ears high. This bitch can't scare me.
That bird friend of yours speaks highly of you. Galen. Says that
Yes.
you're...
Oh.
Says that you're a member of a guard in your hometown.
Yes, a town's guard of Meadowfen. Out of character, I forgot the name of my own town.
I noticed that, but I wasn't going to say anything.
Listen, we haven't been to Meadowfen in forever.
And how exactly did you become a member of the guard in your town?
Well, I worked hard and proved myself.
And it was allowed.
Why wouldn't it be?
Most humble folk are not permitted to be guards in towns. You are aware of that, correct? Are not welcome in the guard.
I guess me and my older brother are outliers then.
Or your town is.
Small town, it's not like Guild or Hurt.
Mine was a small town as well, and it was not exactly a welcome idea. I'm looking to change that with these arrangements that we've been making. Allowing humble folk to have more of a say, and possibly putting a new direction towards those who are in my care as it is. Forming our own sort of guard, if you like. And it seems you are one of the few humble folk out there who has experience as such.
I'm sorry, this is a lot to process right now. So you're wanting me to help you?
Yes.
Leader of the coalition wants a town's guard to help her. Sorry, I'm still processing that. That's... Ooh.
I'm not too proud to understand when there's something I'm not fully informed about. And you seem to have impressed some people who have impressed me. Doesn't hurt.
What exactly would you need me to do? Just train people?
I help train, form proper regiments. I've got some of it down based off of what I've arranged myself. But I need someone to help train those that I currently have and work as an ambassador to other towns to help them accept that it's a possibility.
And you're gonna bring this up with the council?
It's been brought up as part of the current negotiations. if all works out.
And that's the kicker there. If
If.
it was hard enough for me to get aid for my town. Maybe it's because I am a Gerbine. Maybe it's because I am humble folk that they decided to talk longer than one should.
Hence my problem with the Bird Folk Council to begin with. I'm working to fix that. That's my hope, at least.
Do you mind if I think about it for now?
Of course. I wasn't expecting an answer today. It's not a small responsibility. And it would be a change of post for you.
Would be. We'll see how negotiations with the council go. And I'll give you my answer after. Does that sound like a deal?
Alright. I'll take it. I appreciate even the slightest consideration, to be honest.
I do my best to help others.
Alright. She'll start just walking in. You notice that she's probably a little bit awkward and doesn't know how to have conversations, which is why she's so blunt.
As soon as she's out and out of sight, y'all over the necklaces just hear a mental muffled screaming from Senzi. It's like,
Look through at Gerald. She's like, yeah, she's a little intense.
Shari, you've been watching this and you didn't see any, like you couldn't,
Yeah, I kind of figured.
if you end up getting the feat Keen Mind, you will be able to, Observant, you'll be able to read lips. If you don't have that feat, then you were just able to observe, make an insight check if you'd like.
No, I'm not trying to pry. I just wanted to make sure Zinzi's was safe. That's all.
Okay. Zinzi's appears to be safe.
As
and then
soon
you
as
hear
she
the
had-
mental scream, and you can visibly see her match that. Like,
As soon as Brenna and Zinzi start walking back towards the door, though, I go, Gwen, get away from the window. They're coming back in.
Who, darling? Who are you? What's happening?
Sorry, I put you as a trying to overhear Zinzi's and Brenna talking through the door.
We're just trying to get you back involved.
What did you say, dear? I couldn't quite hear you.
They're coming back inside. Get over here.
There. Oh, good. Yes, we should have stew for dinner. I didn't hear a damn thing. Sorry, dear. Ooh, but I did find a good recipe for silk and wool tacos for our moth friend.
Bro, you just hear like a little scuttling, and then like Chunga is like on the table, like sprawled out, like wings like kind of out and like up at the ready, and she's like, "What was that?"
Oh, I found a good recipe for silk and wool tacos.
Oh my gosh. You know, fabric is like fine for my diet, but that was my favorite snack as a kid.
Oh, all right, dear. Well, I put a little bit of extra vegetables in this really delicious goddess sauce that I read about in the
She's like vibrating.
newspaper. Don't worry, I'll see if anyone else wants one as well. But I feel like it's mostly going to be you, dear.
That's all right. If it's mostly me, then I'm fine. That's fine. It's perfectly fine. Oh my goodness.
At this time, Benna has walked in the door. Speaker Avery, who's been sitting at the table still as you are climbing onto the table, just quietly stands up, gives a subtle little nod to all of you. Thank you for your time. It is much appreciated.
And
And
as well.
Speaker Avery, before you go, let me just, and she like grabs a couple jars with random sauces, and there's a jar specifically of chicory and mesquite barbecue crickets. There's a delicacy in this place, and any bird folk, and others are welcome to have some, but she specifically gives one to Avery.
oh, why, thank you. You see, she takes it in her hand and gives it a little twist, and the items seem to just vanish.
Ooh.
She puts her hands back together and goes, I will see you again at some point. Benna, I believe it is time for us to return. We have much to discuss going forward.
I'm sorry to interrupt one more time. I just feel like we got off on the wrong foot. You must take my preserved plum apple pear medley. It's to die for, dear. Not literally, but
You saying this to who?
Benna. It's basically like a sweet fruit, somewhere between a sauce and a jam.
So a marmalade?
It's like
She holds out a hand.
Yeah, it's chunky. It's got like cinnamon, but like also these other strange, fruity, delicious flavors. There's a zest of lemon. It's good.
She takes it,
Mhm.
looks at it, looks back at you. Thanks.
Oh, no problem. Let us know if you need anything else, dears. If you need to stay, you're always welcome. I have plenty of room in my room. 3 beds at the least.
I have accommodations.
All right. Well, look at me prattling on here. Chonga, let's get you some of those tacos.
Yep. They turns to Speaker Avery and Brenna. Thank you for coming. Thank you very, very much. Whatever
Thank you
this
for
was,
having
thank
us, dear. We appreciate it.
you. And she just mostly keeps to herself with her little arms.
And
I
the
think
two of them, followed by the perch guard, start to take their leave.
Just out of curiosity, was Speaker Avery at all freaked out by the vibrating moth on the table, or was she like, this is fine?
Make an insight check.
Okay. I know this is past that moment.
Look, she knows
I'm
it's
just
weird
curious.
shit,
Oh, that's a 17.
17? She seemed more curious. And she did try her best to hide it, but your perception was high enough that you could tell that she was more fascinated than anything. She's a wizard. She is an intellectual at heart, and this is something new.
That's fair. Okay.
She was fascinated in a Vulcan kind of way.
Exactly.
I'll take that. I'm about to dive down into some silk and wool tacos. Sounds like a pillow. it's like a pillow.
A little bit.
All right. With Benna and Speaker Avery, followed by the members of the Perch Guard, leaving your home, leaving you to mull over the discussion of where you might be able to find Sergeant Alden, the day is yours. What would you like to do?
No.
We've gone better.
I need a drink. You're just sitting there staring at these maps, like his eyes are just going like all over the place, trying to like, all right, how can we approach this fucking thing without, being seen? Like he's working all that in his like, I need wine. I'm going to get some wine. What time is it? Breakfast? I don't care. Getting wine. getting himself a bottle of wine and start to like try and piece shit together.
I'm going to use the rest of my spell that lasts for an hour and have it move down to Sprinkle's place and see if I can see anything interesting in there. Because I was planning on
What is
having
the
there,
range on it?
It has no range. It can just move up to 30 feet per round.
And what's the
it can go
duration?
as an hour. So however long Zinzi's talk was, and then however long Brian's talk or Gwen's talk was, subtract that from an hour, and
Yeah, you'll make it. It's all the way in the roots, and you guys are you're on the edge of the canopy market and the trunk market area. So it is a hike. But
it can fit through gaps as small as an inch, and of course it doesn't need to go on floors. So if there's a more like direct route,
it's like a spiral downwards through the trunk.
Okay.
Downwards better with you.
So it'll take time, but I'll say sure, you're able to get to it before the end of the time is up, and you see a random tent pitched in the middle of the roots with two weirdly realistic looking eyeballs drawn on it. And it looks like it almost has all of the teeth in place now.
Oh, nice. I want to poke my ball in and look for that duck. You know the duck.
Okay. Make a perception check, I guess.
Oh. That's not good. 7.
7.
Yeah.
You see the pedestal.
Damn.
Don't you have fortune to it?
Alright, well, how long do I have to look, like, around the shop real quick?
I'd say only like 3 more minutes, maybe.
Okay. I just want to take as quick a look as I can for the duck. Because I obviously looked where the duck was, but now I'm going to look around the shop.
Make one more
for the duck.
perception check with disadvantage because you technically have already made the roll.
I understand. A little bit better. 9. No duck.
9? Alright, there are a lot of crates and boxes around. You do not see, well, based on the time of day, I would say, yeah, you do see, yeah, you would see Sprinkle behind the desk, and every now and then you do see like a head behind a box that you can only assume is probably the duck.
Okay. I'm gonna come out of my spell and kind of pop my fist on the table. Damn, no duck.
Ooh,
And then just kind of look around and see what everyone's doing.
Sherry, you almost smashed this pie that I cut for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't here.
It's totally fine, dear. I recognize the glazed look anywhere. I just thought it would take a little longer. This is called Gwen's Banana Butter Pie.
Banana and butter. That's a combination I hadn't thought of before. I'll give her a taste test.
So it's actually fruity, nutty, a little spicy, and you can't taste any butter or banana.
Gwen,
Oh yes, dear.
do you know what bananas are?
Of course I do, dear. It's actually a recipe my grandmother handed down. back during the depressing age.
I don't mean to be rude, but did your grandma know what bananas were?
Oh yes, we just called it that because we wanted it to sound more delicious than what was actually in the original recipe.
Oh, okay. So this taste was intended. Got it. Thanks.
Well, yes, this is my take on it, but it's I added real fruit instead of what was it originally? Turnips and rhubarb and carrots and not bad things, but this is far sweeter and far more has a kick to it, don't you think?
Not quite the words I would use, but yeah, it's got a kick.
Well, there's plenty more food. I made about 40,000 horses here, so Zinzi's, did you get anything?
Huh?
Did you get enough food, dear?
Yeah.
All right. I made something special for you.
What is it?
Well, they're little pockets.
I'm sorry, I saw Rogue in the background poking your nose.
Hi, Jerome.
This is my life.
Also, for a second, I thought you said rebar. So you said rhubarb. For my brain here, rebarb. Like,
that doesn't go in there.
No.
So Gwen made little pancakes, but instead of just a stack of pancakes, they're kind of like a pita pocket in design. So it's two pancakes kind of fused together, and inside there is a praline custard with a little bit of butter and a little bit of maple syrup.
Ooh. She'll try one.
They're a bit sweet, dear, but I hope you like them.
How many did you make?
Probably like a dozen.
She eats 4 at once. her cheeks get puffed up.
There's also Gerald requested was it scorpions or something? Test notes? Bobsleds? Lollipops?
Are you asking me if these things exist in the world, or are you just listing random things?
Gerald asked for something specific last time, I think.
Gerald?
But Gerald is also...
Did you ask for a specific sweet?
No. I don't believe I did.
Okay. Well, there's something special for you too. And it's delicious.
I'm sure it will be.
Probably has worms in it.
You are muted, my dear.
I don't know about Gerald, but I'm an owl. I love worms.
Yeah. There's a smorgasbord across the gambit. There's sweet, savory, insects, vegetarian.
Slimy but satisfying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hakuna Matata. Alright, that's all for Gwen for now. I feel like she's gonna start cleaning up.
Is there anything you guys want to do to prepare for your travels? Yes, Changa.
I would like to steal a serving of whatever looks good, just for funsies, and then go
Easily
up
done.
to my room for a personal project.
Okay. Alright. You sneak off? What are we doing?
So, I bought that Alexandrite at the jewel store with the intention of infusing it and creating a homunculus servant.
Yes.
I don't know why. I still have a difficult time pronouncing it.
Homunculi.
Homunculi. I want to say like any H word that's not that.
Homogeneous.
Homosexual.
Homosexual.
I would like to take my Alexandrite and create a homosexual.
Oh, homosexual.
That somehow works. Like, really? kind of does.
That's how all queers are born.
You know what?
You
I
infuse them with jewels.
I mean, no wonder the queer community's into crystals.
I
We're
mean,
born of them. We
That
are the
explains Steven
we
Universe
are the
so much.
Steven Universe.
yeah. I honestly I don't think I came out until after I visited a gem shop. So who knows?
Okay.
All right, so
I'm about to press the choose button. Let's see if this will change my life. Yep. You learn intricate methods of magically creating a homunculus that serves you. The item you infuse serves as the creature's heart. Yep. You determine the homunculus' appearance. Some artists prefer. Yep. Okay. Great infusion. So I'm gonna work on this. Do a lot of tinkering. Kind of work on a little like steampunky creature.
Okay.
It's not like super small, but it's like somewhere between like a medium-sized dog and then like a husky, like somewhere between there, but at least to Chunga's body,
right.
which might be fairly small compared to others. And she is going to design a tiny little robotic.
Real quick, technically, when you make a homunculus, it's a tiny construct.
The tiny construct.
Which means that it will take its... Like, Zinzi's is considered a small creature. This is one step smaller.
Okay. So then it is small.
It's pretty small.
Pretty small. That's okay. It didn't specify size from what I read. So
If
I
you
thought it
look
was
up
just like,
homunculus
whatever.
itself, is when it says that it's considered a tiny construct.
Okay.
But obviously, you can... It's your creation. You can make it look however you want. It's just
It's just the
technically,
size.
for the sake of, like, spacing in combat or whatever, it's considered a tiny construct. It has a speed of 20, a fly of 40.
Okay, now I'm seeing tiny construct. Now I see that. Okay, cool. Okay, so it's small. That's fine. I'm pretty small myself, so that's fine. We'll be tiny together.
Aww. Tiny friends.
Okay. Yay! So it's a small little like dragon, but it looks like it's a dragon made from the pieces of a moth and a praying mantis. So it's like
Okay.
something that only knows bugs tried to create a dragon.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's so dumb.
And it's like steampunky.
So
Little mechanical
gears, copper, brassish. Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. Just for the hell of it, make a tinkerer's check with advantage, which would be sleight of hand. And if it does not already have your proficiency, add your proficiency. So it's dexterity plus your proficiency bonus.
Okay, wait, okay. That's a lot. Okay, so dexterity bonus.
Yes. So add your dexterity bonus and your proficiency bonus
Okay. Where can
with
I
advantage.
Where can I find my proficiency bonus?
On your
which
sheet?
specific?
On your sheet, right above where it says initiative, it says proficiency plus whatever.
Aha! Okay, now I see it. That's a big button. I wasn't looking in the right place. Okay, so with dexterity and proficiency, that's a 6 plus 6. And I'm actually going to pull out my very, very nice dice. Oh, I hope I didn't jinx it. I haven't used these for any specific character, but they tend to be fair. So, did you say with advantage or just
With
the checks?
advantage. Yeah.
With
Roll
advantage.
twice, take the higher.
Okay. 12. 13.
All
Okay,
right.
so 13.
13 plus whatever your dex bonus is,
16.
plus your proficiency bonus.
19.
19. All right. You are sitting over your little creation. All of your little hands have their little tools as you're tinkering away and building and creating this little thing. And you sit and you give it that last little spark of energy. And you wait. And nothing seems to happen. Until from your... What is the stone again?
Alexandrite.
So from the Alexandrite, like, you almost see like a shoot of teal, almost electric energy pop and fizzle across its entire body, like a deep teal turquoise color. And then it just kind of... whoop, and head tilts. And looks towards you.
Oh my god, you got me with the head tilt. Okay, so Changa immediately is like super like shocked and also very ecstatic that it's alive. She's like, my creation. It's alive. Is it mimicking me right now?
Yes, it's mimicking your motions.
She like kind of moves her arms a little bit. And then she pulls out the double arms. One goes up, the other two go down. Like,
it mimics because it's very, like you said, it's very praying mantis-esque. So it's got like two big like claw things in the front that go up, and then two like little spindly arms in the side.
like, oh my god, I've made a masterpiece. And then she
and
like
it suddenly darts up towards you and curls around and then perches on your spindly little shoulder.
Oh my god, yes. So you kind of like, she like gives it a little scratch, but then like takes it off for a second and inspects it just to make sure that like everything is still okay from that process of birthing life.
Yeah, everything looks... It's strange because all those little plates that you created every now and then seem to like lift and then settle back down into the spot. It's kind of like the Iron Man armor when it's first getting settled.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. You are truly wonderful. And she like puts it back on the shoulder, and now she's like really, really overjoyed, kind of falling in love with this thing. At first it was a science project, now it's getting a little personal.
It did
And
take
then
a
she,
couple
like-
hours to do that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. She's gonna scuttle out of the room and, like, just if anyone's still in the house, show off the little mantis moth dragon.
While that was happening, was anyone doing anything? Did anyone leave? Is everyone still at the house?
If nobody else has anything, I would, after my journey down to Sprinkles, sorry, words aren't working. I would like to help Gerald go over the maps, and also fill in any of the blank spots on any of the maps with information from the other maps to make as many more complete maps as I can, especially around the specific area that we're heading.
Okay. I would actually say because you have detailed maps of the area and Gerald has what looks like hand-drawn, like, by the bandits pathways that are hidden, it's more like you're adding his maps to yours.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I just want as much information on all of our maps as I can get while we have this time.
Both of you make separate intelligence checks.
Okay. I have cartographer's tools. Yes, that's the right one. And I would like to use my channel divinity to become proficient in those tools, if that would help my roll.
Right now, make it a straight intelligence roll.
Okay.
Just having the tools just means that you are able to modify these maps without possibly fucking them up.
Okay.
it's if you having cartographers tools really helps, and that proficiency really helps if you were like creating your own map, but you're just adding to one.
Okay. Then I will not waste the what the hell's it called? Channel Divinity. I'll just use my my tools, and I have an 18.
18, okay. Gerald?
21.
21? All right. With ease, you guys are able to transpose the pathways from the one map to the other. And in doing so, you are able to reveal a relatively simple route to get to the beginning of your goal, which is the base of where that area should go, but it looks like it's up on the mountains and across, and there's not much of that area mapped out, aside from a small little spot that Benna pointed out. But you have a starting place. You know where to get to go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zinzies, what have you been doing in these past 2 hours? Pondering life decisions?
Yep, pondering her discussion with Benna for sure. Probably just maintenance with her armor and her weapons, making sure that they're kept clean and all that, especially the guns, because while the trumpet doesn't need too much maintenance, the actual revolver does. As a gun owner, I know this.
Yes. Make a sleight of hand check with advantage, just to see how efficient this is going to be, just because I can make you roll.
Oh god, I rolled a natural 1 and then a 19. So 22.
Boy, that could have been so bad. Yeah, you're able to, you actually, as you were setting up to clean, you realized this could have gone really badly. For the next... Huh?
I left the safety off on it accidentally.
No, you realized that some of the gunpowder had gotten caught in a dangerous spot. And you're able to clean it out quickly and save it up. What's your misfire rate right now?
That is a good question to ask, because I think it differs for them. Let's see. I think it's just, I guess a misfire for 1 for each of them.
Okay, is that included?
I roll a nat 1 and I misfire.
Okay. And what about if you utilize, like, any of the specialized shots?
Oh, okay, so let me look at my trick shots real quick. The only trick shot of mine that deals in misfire is violent shot. When I activate trick shot, I gain a +2 to my misfire score, so I'll bump it up to a 3.
Bump that back down to a 2 for the next week.
Woohoo! I'm gonna make a note of that.
Proper weapons maintenance will offer you wonderful benefits.
For next week, violent shot misfire is only 2. Watch me roll nat 1s and nat 2s. After that.
All right. Anyone else have anything? Gwen, were you doing anything in those past couple hours before Changa comes down? Oh, that's right. Gwen sent a BRB.
Sorry, dear. My delivery or courier forgot half of my order, so I had to go get the other half.
Oh my.
Luckily they had it. Yes, Gwen is just gonna have a quick little visit with her son via Amulet Chat, so to speak.
Okay. And you have to take care of something right now, and then we'll come back to that, correct?
Well, I can do it now. It's just a quick conversation with my son. No big deal.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. You give him a call, and the rock does that opening thing, and sure enough, you see a reflection of your son, and it looks like he's walking rapidly as he's kind of like, it's like when you see somebody on FaceTime, but they're like heading somewhere, so they're not, you don't see their surroundings, you just see like their chin. And like every now and then it turns back up.
Yeah. Oh dear, sorry, if this is a bad time, I can always call back.
No, I'm heading to class. What's up, Mom?
Oh, I was just wondering if you knew any enchanters. I had an idea for this tapestry in my room. I know it's already enchanted to look like the forest near where we used to live, but I want to just maybe give it a little extra jazz, you know.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of different enchanters here. Most of them are the instructors, but
Yes, of course. Well, as you know, I'm quite important now, so perhaps.
Right. Okay.
Yes. Dear old
It's a
mom.
lot of like the teenage son being like, "Oh my God, Mom."
Dear old mom's brushing elbows with some of the high up people here. But yes, if you don't mind, just talk to the faculty or whoever, the dean if you must. Just let them know I'd like to have a conversation at your leisure, dear. I know you're studying and you have things to do.
Yeah, I'll do my best, Mom. I will.
Right. Did you want some? Did you want me to send over a package of preserves and jams for you, dear?
I mean, I won't say no.
All right. I'll send a package over. I might have to duck out of the city for a little bit, but if I'm not here, you're always welcome to stop by. You can sleep in my room, or.
I mean, it does take a bit of travel to get from here to there, but sure.
No, I mean, if you're in town, it's all good. It's so good to see you, dear. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
She doesn't.
God, Gwen reminds me of my grandma every time she fucking calls.
Yeah, and Gwen does not know how to turn the thing off, so she's.
Did you get the care package I sent you?
I sent you a card. Did you get it?
you see the base of the forehead. Just like,
Yeah.
or in the case of my grandmother, her ear, 'cause she doesn't understand FaceTime, and I just get, Grandma, you don't need to hold it to you. Okay. All right. Eventually, your son actually hangs up as you see him turning and looks like he's talking to some other people that you can't quite see because that's not how this enchantment works. Mm-hmm. And then it cuts out. And about then is probably when, Shari, you said you had come back?
After my spell wore out, after
Right.
the hour or whatever. So I'll spend that next hour or however long with Gerald working on it.
Right. Okay. Just want to make sure I got everyone correctly. And Gerald was helping with the map, and Zinzi's is plotting her life and cleaning her guns. And Changa comes downstairs with an interesting creation in her arms.
I like staring at that. And then there's this ridge over here, and look up. What is that?
It is my child and my life's work, and it needs a name.
It's so cute.
I know.
It is rather cute.
Can I give it scritches?
If it will allow you, yes.
I'm gonna put my hand out like this, like a foot from
The
it,
old
and
cat
see what it does.
introduction.
Well, seeing as Changa, you are its creator, it sees anyone you see as an ally as an ally.
Yeah.
Therefore, it actually kind of, it's not necessarily like psychically link where you can talk to it, but you can give it commands and it kind of feeds off of your energy. So as long as you're cool with Showery.
I'm very cool with Showery. We're good.
As you hold your hand out, Showery, it takes a minute and it kind of looks and tilts and then scrambles up your arm and is on your shoulder.
Oh my god, you are precious.
Isn't it wonderful?
It doesn't make any noises, but it opens like its little mouth, like imitating you.
Oh my god.
That's adorable. I love you so much.
Oh, it's so
You're right, it needs a name. It must be protected at all
Yes.
costs.
At all costs.
I hate that.
It's so darling. It's so darling. It's so darling. It's the magnificent Gerald. Gerald, what do you think? Gerald. 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 Look at my child. Gerald.
I'm looking at you.
Isn't it precious?
Oh my god, it's so cute.
Yes, it's very precious. I'm not entirely sure what cat it is, but it is very precious and very small.
I modeled it after a creature in our mythology.
Ah,
It's a wonderful little mimicker. It'll look at a person's body and do everything that they do.
I have subjected myself to this. It's a decision I have made.
She takes the little guy and then like puts it on like towards Gerald.
Come on, Gerald. It's so cute.
He's going to lean down to the brim of his his pad of disguise is like this great big brim hat. Sort of leans down to let it climb on top of his hat.
It actually seems to like duck underneath the hat and is just staring at you.
Yes, you are very adorable. He'll sort of put out his claw and sort of like hold it out for it.
It, just like with Showery, climbs and scampers and then perches on your shoulder, is just kind of looking around the room.
Its first few moments of life and it already has so much company. I'm so proud. Where is Zinzi? Where is Zinzi's here? Is Zinzi's here?
I think she's sitting somewhere contemplating her life. Been there. Fun times. I don't know what she and Benna talked about, but Benna is a very intense person.
Oh yeah.
Did you say earlier that it was glowing with the teal kind of glow? Or was that just during the birth?
That was just during the birth.
Oh, okay.
It was
So
more
it's
like
just
like a shock of electricity kind of like jolted and brought it to life.
Okay. So it's more of the metallic colors with copper and kind of blacks and grays.
That's a great question for Changa. What colors are primarily on this creature?
So
Gerald has already come up with that.
probably primarily like greens, different shades of greens, but it's more like it was added into the metals. So like a lot of it is like gold, bronzy, just regular like metal types, but then like some fine detailing work of like shades of green.
Oh, okay.
And because she herself is like a minty green wing color, green is like a big color for her
Okay.
and where she is.
That's awesome. Because in my head, for some reason, I was having it like glow on almost an emerald green, and in my head, we should have called it like Emerald Dragon, aka Emmy.
Oh, that's really
Gerald's looking
cute.
at this
It
little
is.
thing and looking at Changa. My vote would be Orchid.
Orchid!
I like it.
I like it. Okay, so currently the votes are Orchid, Emmy/Emerald, because I think that's also a very cool name.
I agree. Yes.
All right, let's see. And then like gestures for the child.
It quickly scurries back to you. It will always come back to you as priority.
And then she like skirts around and is like either trying to find Gwen or Zinzi's. She doesn't know who's here right now, so she's like, whoever I find first.
Gwen and Zinzi's roll d20s. Roll for initiative. Who gets found first?
Yeah, Gerald's just gonna look over at Showery as she scampers off. That's a much needed distraction.
It is the best distraction ever!
Wait, do you want us to actually roll initiative?
Yeah.
No, it's just treating it that way to see who she finds first.
Alright, I rolled a 13.
Alright, Gwen?
I rolled a 12.
12? Alright, so you actually find Zinzi's first, because you just start checking individual rooms, and Zinzi's is the one that's closest to the stairs.
Yeah. She like rushes to Zinzi's and then just puts it on her head.
Zinzi's, you're in the middle of cleaning your gun, and all of a sudden you feel
like
thunk on your head.
Changa,
Yes.
what's on my head? As I'm carefully setting the guns down.
My pride and joy.
You feel it start to walk, like, down, and end up on your shoulder.
So this is my life's effort. It likes to mimic. It doesn't have a name. Gerald's vote is Orchid. Showery's vote is Emmy, like Emerald. So if you'd like one of those, or if you want to put in your own idea.
Orchid sounds great.
Isn't it wonderful?
It starts to climb down your arm and is like now inspecting the gun on the table.
No. And I'm like lifting my hand away, even though it's like on my hand.
Yeah, you know the thing that praying mantises do when they start to like reach? So as you are pulling it backwards, it's just like
You know, that's not for little mantises. It's not for you. Not for you.
And I just kind of hold them out back to Changa to take back.
it crawls back to Changa's hands.
It's okay.
This is a bad time. Zinthis doesn't like bugs crawling on her.
And it did kind of do like the tarantula claw down the face.
Yeah.
Just like,
What?
It's not a big phobia of hers. She just doesn't like the sensation.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, it's a good thing Zinzi's is too small for Changa to crawl on her, because she would be like dying all of the time.
That's Twitter's chalk.
just koalas onto Zinzi's body.
That can be done. That can be done. She takes the dragon bug, it's a dragon bug, and then like puts it on the shoulder, scuttles through the house on the walls. Gwen!
I'm on to the night, dear.
She scuttles over, kind of fluttering out,
Yeah,
and then she like drops down and then like holds out the child.
Gwen's just kind of like sitting there having a sip of tea, like on the little patio cushion seat she has. And she turns, she's like, "Oh my heavens! Who is this?"
So this is my life's work and my pride and joy.
Oh, no.
It's only been alive for a few minutes. We're voting on names. So Showery came up with Emmy/Emerald. Gerald came up with Orchid. Zinzi likes Orchid. If you would like to chime in with another name,
Well, I do like Emerald. Emerald.
would
is
you like Emerald?
pretty name. However, what would you like to name them? This is your creation. It's your life's work. You just said so.
I mean, yes, but naming. I suppose I just wanted other people's input before I decided on something because I hadn't quite thought of what to title it. And it would take quite a lot of research to find something that's significant and fits the mood and the feeling and personality that the small creature has. I was open to other people's suggestions.
Where I'm from, and you don't have to take this suggestion if you don't like, but there's a beautiful flying creature that glows almost at nighttime. And they're called Luna moths.
Hang on, spell that out just for me?
Luna, Luna,
Right.
and then moths, like your species.
Oh, I am a Luna moth.
Yes.
Do they look somewhere different for you?
Oh yes. You know, the same way that fireflies and other smaller insects sort of grace our kingdom. It's I mean, there are also smaller squirrels that run around. They're not all Zinzi size.
Oh, huh. So do these Luna moths, do they look like smaller, glowy versions of me, or like some other sort of creature?
Oh yes, they're far less majestic, of course, dear.
Right.
But at nighttime, they do emit a soft green glow, and which is very beautiful, very subtle.
Why, I never knew that such a creature existed. Well, how far is your home? Well, hang on a minute. Wait, you said, hang on. I'm sorry. My mind is very whirlwind. Where did you say these were?
Oh yes, near my home.
Yes, near your home. Okay.
Which is not too far from here. It's maybe a few hours, maybe a few days, depending on the weather, of course.
Well, maybe someday when we don't have something pressing to tend to, we can do a miniature vacation there sometime in the future.
Yes. Hold on, I don't know if I can do them justice, but let me see. And she uses druidcraft to sort of like create these glittery imitations that are like moth shaped, and they're about the same color, but they're not nearly as cool.
Oh, that's very interesting. Oh.
Yes, there are far more creatures like this, but you know, you still haven't got to know their personality, although they seem very curious.
They seem very curious. They have a habit of mimicking others' movements.
Gwen's gonna like take a sip of tea with like pinky out and go. Does it do anything?
We're testing the mimic abilities of the baby dragon.
Okay.
I think it probably does like something like that. It doesn't have a pinky, but it probably does.
Yeah, it definitely it does one of those like. Like.
Very cute, very cute.
Yeah, Gwen's gonna just basically just reassure Changa that this is your creation, dear, and whatever you decide, I'm sure will be a perfect name for them.
So, Orchid, Emmy Emerald, Luna. Perhaps what I can do is I can write the names on a piece of paper and then put it down and then see if it has its own free will and decide a name that it likes for itself.
That sounds like a great idea, dear.
Because this was largely a science experiment, so I'm not exactly sure how far its free will goes, you know, or if it's just by command and observation.
Well, you've created this creature, so make sure you treat it with respect.
Oh,
I'm sure it will treat
of
you
course.
with respect.
By all means, by all means.
If you'd like, I have tea cakes. I know we just had that huge meal, but
She like puts out her little arm, and then like her second arm goes out.
so she'll like hand over like they're like little shortbreads, but they're lavender, rose, hibiscus, violet, and I don't know, cardamom flavor.
Oh my goodness, lovely.
Yeah. And they just sort of like crumble, but like almost effortlessly and smoothly in your mouth.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Changa will like take those, and then like her arm retracts into her sleeve, so her arms just kind of disappear, and then she like sets her little guy like in her hair. Hey, that works. If it wants to hide in her hair, she's got a big poof, so it can do that.
It's almost small enough that it starts to, and then it's still tiny, but it's still like that. So it ends up just like settling on the top of your poof, and it kind of like splits the poof a little bit and is like inside.
It lives in the nest of my floof. I love it. So with the tea cakes and then the floof, she just like crawls back inside. Just like waiting for everybody to like get ready, or if they like whenever they want to leave or do anything.
Okay.
One more scene I would like to add.
Okay.
So as Changa is walking away to find Zinzi's and Gwen, she just kind of stares at the little dragon baby and just kind of looks over at Gerald. Excuse me, and then just gets up. You know that scene in SG-1 in Window of Opportunity when Daniel tells him that he can do anything without consequences, and how Jack gets up off the table? I do exactly that, and I scuttle off to my workroom.
In the middle of my backswing! I had to.
And I start
I'm sorry.
making on... Oh, absolutely. And I start working on a little, like, leather pouch basket bed for the little baby. And I try and mimic the style of it with the
Are you
copper
making
and
a
cogs
papoose?
Maybe.
What's
roll for papoose.
I will roll for papoose.
Roll your
Natural
sword.
fucking 20!
I don't even have to tell you what it's going to be. You create the best looking that like matches the aesthetic of this tiny little mantis dragon
Best
creature.
Fucking nat 20 ever.
Like, it really is not so much a papoose. It's more like those ferret carrier, like people have, like it looks like a sleeve that the ferrets can like climb inside of, because it is still kind of long. Because it's a dragon that just has like mantis-like qualities.
Yes.
So it really does it makes like the perfect little like sling, like ferret sling.
Yeah. And I'm doing this for the size and shape of Changa.
You are very successful in this, and you can describe how it looks because you were so successful in this.
Okay, so I kind of made it where it slings over and it's reversible, so you can wear it either over the left or the right shoulder. And then it comes around and kind of hooks either onto your armor or to itself around your midsection. And then it's got kind of a round oblong section here, and it's mostly leather, and it's covered in little copper bits and gears and cogs, and there's a little spring right at the top that it can go doing, doing.
God.
It's like the doorstop, you know.
Yes.
So it has something to play with while you're walking.
That's so cute. Oh my god.
Amazing.
That's the best thing ever.
And as soon as I finish it, I'm gonna go rush and try and find Chang'e. I was like, baby!
I think she's just like sitting on the ceiling of like whatever living room is in this space. So then like when you come out and you go, baby, she like puts down her two front arms and it's like kind of upside down. It says, baby! And then like drops down.
And I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna ask. Can I help you put it on?
Oh yes, please.
And then I'm going to help you put it on the front way. It's also reversible for the back as well.
Oh.
So there's many different ways you can wear this.
This is so
I'm
efficient.
gonna set it up front-wise over your left shoulder, and then I'm gonna ask you to have them cuddle up inside.
She like wherever they are in her hair, like kind of like scratches and then like picks up a little slingy so that they can like crawl in.
Oh yeah, and it does. It kind of like it takes it like you hold it up and it tilts its head and then does like a spiral climb into it, if that makes sense, where it's like do 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 and then climbs and then comes out the bottom and then turns around and then its head's just peeking out the top.
And as soon as his head pops up, I kind of give the little spring a boing, so it knows it has something to play with. Yep.
Like it's just like fascinating. It's not even like changing pace. It's just. It's like, have you seen when you put tinfoil on a cat's head and it just kind of like shuts down?
Yes.
The mind has shut down, but the claws are still going.
Oh, that is so darling.
Oh my gosh, that was so sweet of you. What makes you think to do this whole thing on the child?
Because you have child and it is adorable and we must protect it.
We must protect it. That was so sweet. Thank you. And then she like actually like kind of like gives a side hug so that you don't squish the little bit. So like the two of her arms like wrap around the back.
Amazing.
This is awesome.
Absolutely amazing. Anything else you guys would like to do at the moment?
All for me. We have a child
Nope,
now.
that was it.
All right. In that case, we are going to jump ahead to. Are you guys heading out of the city to go deal with this issue, or anything else for this day? I should ask, are you heading out today, or are you heading out tomorrow?
What time is it this day right now?
Ring of supplies and we're heading out.
At this point, it's probably about noon.
It's about
You said
noon.
picking.
Yeah, we're probably gonna grab some last minute supplies, like get rations and the stuff we need, because we have the nest charm. So we don't have to worry about like too much as far as camping supplies and stuff. We probably won't need a cart this time. Since we don't have a prisoner to haul.
Okay.
And if we need one, we could probably talk. If we need one for Alden on the way back, we probably talk to the coalition. Hey, can I borrow a wagon? Can I borrow a wheelbarrow? I need to push this raptor home. But granted, we take the smart choice, and if we get him back to there, take him inside to get the medical attention.
About how far are we traveling? Would it be worth it to try to acquire mounts?
I would say if you guys want to acquire mounts, actually I'll say that as you go to acquire mounts, you realize that there already have been some set aside for you. However, you do know that as you get to the base of the mountain, they are not going to be able to take you any further. I know we had it worked out before as to exactly how far away it is, and it's shortened because of your
Map work.
bandit friend.
Oh, right.
Because that is a feature of being a member of the banditry at any point in time. So it is.
I have to imagine it's also
1,
the area
2,
of
3,
banditry where
4, 5 days shortened to 3 to get to the location at the base of the pathway that you know. You don't know how much further past there, so it's actually more like 2.5 days just to get to that spot. And Zinzi's, just for the sake of your knowledge, that week is not a 5-day week, it is a 7-day week. It's basically me saying, we're gonna get you where you guys need to go before that's gonna be worn out, because otherwise I would just suck.
Okay, so mounts might take getting to the mountain from.
They'll
like
get you
2
to the
days
mountains.
okay.
From there, they're not going to be able to help you.
Okay. Well, if they've already set some aside, great. We don't have to acquire.
Yes. You are able to acquire what you do need for supply-wise, food. I'll say, are you getting basic rations? Are you getting a step up?
Depending on price, I'd be willing to go for a step up.
We've always,
I don't
we've
know about
probably
everyone else in the
afforded
group.
step up. Some of us have been holding on to more money. It's like some of us received a lot of money for no reason. And it's like, don't what you should do.
I mean, I would say like basic rations are probably going to cost you about like 2 silver a day for the whole group. So if you want to step it up and cost like a gold per days of rations, then for everybody, because keep in mind, for those watching at home, a gold is a lot of fucking money. We take advantage of it in the setting of D&D.
Yeah.
A gold is like 100
like
copper.
spending 10 gold on a dozen donuts that is only 2 silver.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
you
terrorizing the baker's daughter.
That's it, and you wonder why she has that reaction.
Tomorrow happened to be Thursday.
Cincy's and Gwen have personally ensured the next 7 generations of that family are going to be fed, clothed, and fully educated.
Oh, no.
they could close down their shop tomorrow and never work another day in their life.
We should redirect the pastries to Eliza while we're gone.
Thank you for catching what I was putting down, Gwen.
Oh, but also I have all these jars of delicious goops and pastes and sundry items, and
You remember how our friend Avery did the trick with those preserves that you gave her?
oh yes.
You and I need to get together. Maybe create something that has access to the fridge from anywhere.
I like the way you think.
That's dangerous. Okay, I applaud that idea. Do not make one that connects to the wine cellar or to the wine collection.
No, I said fridge.
Fridge.
Said
Excellent.
fridge.
I do not put wine in the fridge.
That's the ice box, dear. What are you?
That's
Do
the
you
ice
think you are
box.
savages here?
I am while we're out collecting stuff, I am going to grab myself a Jerry, and I'm going to give him his 25 gold and tell him to I'm going to be gone for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out on things.
Okay.
How are you still? You have more money than you know what to do with. How are you still so miserable?
I still am not quite sure what's happening here, so...
Gwen is gonna ask Eliza to keep an eye on the place. Also,
Poor Jerry. There are no thoughts in his head. No thoughts, only confused.
Yes, you are able to ask Eliza to keep an eye on your home while you guys are away.
And the kids can sleep in Gwen's room. It's fine.
Yeah, he's just gonna tell her, don't let the kids go in my office. Definitely don't press any buttons on my desk.
Just
don't do that.
You might see a small child's eyes light up in the background as you say that.
Actually,
I'm locking
you know
every
what?
door I have.
Gerald, do you mind if I take the desk while we're gone? Just in case.
It's a hefty ass desk. It's like a big work desk. We're not taking it with us.
Wrong. I thought you were talking about the one that I made or fixed for you.
Well, yeah, I put that desk underneath the big desk.
Okay.
So that
I misunderstood. Sorry.
So yeah, he's
I was
definitely
going to
gonna
put your
triple
desk
lock.
in my secret spot.
Yeah, he's
desk in my
gonna
desk.
triple lock the office and his room. No.
Yeah. I think we've wrapped up pretty much all the stuff that we need to do. Zinzi's dear, do you need to do anything before we leave?
Nope, I'm good.
Awesome. All right. Well, I have sandwiches for everyone, and we spared no expense for the food budget.
That's what I like to hear.
All right. If there is nothing else, then without further ado, you guys start hitting the road. Since you guys are at a higher level, doing continuous combat as you guys are hitting the road can get a little bit tedious. So, we'll just say, does anyone want to have any conversations during camping times at night? You've got 2.5 days of travel.
No, but I'm gonna switch up my spells.
But also, if we decide to, depending on the route we're taking, stop in at Winton for one of those nights and maybe see if the place is still on fire. Hopefully it's not still on fire.
I would actually say to you, because of the routes that Benna gave you, some of the updated routes, you were able to avoid having to go through Winton.
Okay.
And that's why it's 3 days instead of like 5.
Okay. That's fair.
Because Winton would have gone north and then northwest, and you guys just went northwest.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been longer.
I also like to think that with the updated bandit maps that Benna gave them, Gerald's looking at these maps going, of course you can cut it down. I'm such a fucking idiot. He's just like, why didn't I think of that route?
Because that route didn't necessarily exist before. Most of that was overgrown forest that has been since tamed in a way that is well disguised, so there's not much to bother you on your route.
Indeed. Just like, this would be a megalith. Why didn't I think this? It's like muttering to himself. It's like, I've been in this game for too goddamn long.
Just as a heads up, Gwen can cast Tiny Hut now. So, as a ritual at night, we have a warm, cloistered dome that we can sleep in. And we also have the nest charm, but sometimes, like, it's a little too gaudy. But if people prefer to sleep there, that's fine too.
I am going to conduct a small science experiment with the bug dragon.
Okay.
I'm gonna write down the 3 names on little pieces of paper and then like place them in front of it and like place it down in front of the papers just to see if it will like choose one specifically.
So you said one name, a second name, and a third name?
It's Orchid, Emmy, Emerald, and Luna.
Alright. Six and a half. Okay, so. Yeah. It takes a look. It crawls over. Actually, there's 3 names. I should roll a d6. That would make more sense. into the tray, not into the thing. Okay, so it actually walks over and then takes the middle name and its little claws. It just starts eating the paper. You just see the little...
Oh my
Now,
God,
this
yes.
is not a construct that should actually be able to eat, so you don't really know what's happening with all the little pieces, but it's slowly nibbling on the middle of that paper.
I'm gonna, like, gently try to take the paper from it.
You ever watch when you try to remove a paper jam, and it's like, there's like, all pieces are there, but there's obviously like the slits where it got stuck. That's like where the mouth is. So like, all of the paper is removed, but it obviously was just like chomping down the middle. It's like a paper shredder, very slowly.
Well, everyone, good news. If you have any letters you wish to dispose of, we have the means of doing so. Also, meet Emerald.
Adorable.
I rolled a 4 on the d6, so.
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, she's so
Nice.
Emerald.
I was so Emerald. I love it. Okay. She like takes a piece of paper and then is like, no, seriously though, if you want to dispose of anything, now's the time. It doesn't seem to have an issue with paper.
Well, you know, just out of kindness, please avoid my spellbook if you don't mind, yeah?
And then like turns to Emerald and is like, stay away from the spellbook.
Why is it
Backs away from the spell book a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad we settled that. And then she'll go about her evening with the newly deemed Emerald.
So,
Okay.
let me see if I can get a little bit of a gleam on the person we're looking for. And I'm going to cast, or Gwen's going to cast Locate Creature on like the first or second night.
Okay.
I just took that spell to do the same thing.
You cast Locate Creature.
Cast Locate Creature.
And nothing seems to happen.
Yeah, it's 1,000 feet. I didn't think it would. But, yeah, that's it. And then, yeah, Gwen, of course, casts Tiny Hut and makes food for everyone. It's just all together. Happy to be on this journey. She seems somehow, like, relieved of something.
Okay. Day 2. Anyone want to do anything?
Keep an eye out on the road.
I was about to just like as they get closer to the mountains, Gerald's getting a little more on. He's you don't like being back over here, even for the good raids. He's like he's a little more on edge. We'll look around a little more, just a little more on edge.
Okay, if you guys want to make perception checks, you can.
Why not?
Ooh, that's good. That's very good. Ooh, that's very good. Like, that's very good. See, there's a cool
Nat 20 plus 3
Holy
plus
shit!
perception.
Nice.
Natural 20 plus 5. I'm not trying to one up you, dear.
I got
Wow!
I got an 18.
Nice.
Still
I got
really
21.
high.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all being very observant today.
Yeah, you guys. I mean, there's a little bit of, fluttering movement in the trees. There's a little bit of skittering of different creatures on the ground. It's mostly a peaceful day.
Would like to cast divination during one of our rests.
Okay, we'll say during this night's rest you cast divination.
I will also cast locate creature again.
You cast locate creature and nothing.
For my divination, I would like to ask if we are on the correct path. Well, no, that's more of an augur spell. Is Sergeant Alden at our destination?
So you reach out towards your deity with this question. And as you close your eyes, make a religion check for me as well.
I will do
just
so.
for the hell of it.
21.
21. All right, you close your eyes and feel yourself drift back into that nothingness. And you have this strong sense that you are on the right path. As you hear very quietly, there is a chance that you will succeed. As long as you are cautious as you proceed further. And then you come back. You got more than you should have, because you rolled high.
Well, folks, I think we're on the right path, at least. These next couple days, we should be extra cautious, though. Something doesn't feel right.
There is something weird about these woods, isn't there?
Yeah.
All right,
Kind of
well,
spooky.
tiny hut time.
Detect magic. Just hearing that.
You cast Detect Magic. You see the random little glows of your friends around you and the items that they possess. No one has any other item that they're secretly hiding, do they?
I think there's like spots in like Gerald's outfit that are glowing because it's where he's stuck. Like there's like a spot on the side that isn't like obvious, but it's probably where he stuck the dagger, the vicious dagger that's enchanted. But other than that, he's in that like his hat glows. He has a necklace now that glows. Yeah.
Okay. So a very magical artillery.
The little magic weapon I have is a dagger.
Well,
There's like
you know what I mean. Like you have a lot of things
the
on you.
glows, the satchel, the little bag on his hip glows. That's about it. And another bag. There's his bag of holding.
Okay. So there's no other than us that's magical or anything happening. Is the forest weird?
There are different magical creatures around, but nothing that would give off a glow.
Okay.
Not in the way that spell works. And nothing that gives you a sense of danger.
Okay. Okay. I just want to check.
Alright. If there's nothing else for this evening, it comes to an end. And we are on to the day and the half a day. Anything you guys want to do before you reach the point that was pointed out on the map by Benna?
Well, we should definitely talk about it over breakfast.
This is true. This is very true.
We have a plan. I say, and my name is Gwen.
Well, did have a plan. He'll sort of put out the map. The area that we are looking at around and up to windmill is a bit undiscovered since it's probably a bunch of the not sheared off at some point. So there's not much mapping of it because it wasn't really. It's an old windmill. Who cares? Just kidding, apparently. One idea I had was a bit of a gamble, which was to disguise myself as the raptor. Make an approach. Stating that I needed to make an assignment for myself while undercover because the old crow is getting suspicious, so I need to come back and get some more information, and I couldn't risk using the stone or being seen with the stone, so I came back and to get more information.
Well, dear, this is your world. You know more than most of us here. However, remember that for every set of ears, there's one mouth.
Wait.
It's the strangest fucking thing.
Zinzi starts counting on her fingers how many people are in the group. As she ponders if if Emerald counts as a set of ears. 6 set of ears, so 6 set of mouths?
No. 5 set of mouths. Emerald doesn't talk.
Don't they have ears?
They do have ears.
So I just, sorry, dear.
So 6 set of ears, 5 set of mouths. Not enough brain cells.
That I can. That's a move.
That's some accurate math there.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a genius.
I only
There.
know secrets, People talk and things get about. I'm sure that somebody has told them by now that there was something that happened at the Speaker Conrad's house, and
Whether or not it's gotten back to him yet is, there we don't know actually. We don't really know how many, if any more, agents he has in the city itself. Going on basically on the assumption that he isn't completely up to date. He hasn't heard, since he obviously hasn't heard anything from his agent he sent in there.
can I just
Captured him before.
can I point something out, dear?
Hmm?
You should never assume, and you know why.
No.
And she pats you on the cheek politely. You did say this is a spy network, right? This is they deal with
Yes,
information.
so-
It's their trade.
That's at least what Raptor's purpose was. Yeah, if he has one.
Okay, well, it is highly unlikely then, in my experience, and God knows I'm 106 at this point. It's likely that they know what's going on. I don't want to put you at risk if we don't have to.
Well, it is also part of the plan. That if he knows, if he knows, let's say he does know, and I show up as the Raptor, he's going to assume it's me. He's going to focus on me. This should be, we'll pause our approach at a safe distance and find a good route for the rest of you to go. If I can get him to monologue at me, which might not be too difficult, the rest of you
Why
come
is
in.
every plan you come up with you have to be self-sacrificial?
Zenzi's cuts in with that.
I feel like it's a fair point. It's a very fair point.
Yes, I agree. It is a fair point.
I think he's
Like-
trying to make up for sins of his past.
Yeah, but he's like our ticket to knowing how they work. So what happens if he gets taken out? We're kind of, pardon my French, but we're kind of fucked.
Agreed.
Well, the plan was to use disguise self. Does anybody else have disguise self?
I do have. He does take out like I do have a. My backup one was the ring of disguise that we also took.
That works.
I can also make someone invisible. That's a gift of
I
mine.
believe I can as well.
I wasn't intending to like, go in all in alone by myself. To get you around to a safer spot, not out in the open. I essentially serve as a distraction. That's why this confrontation is part of the reason why I got this fancy armor. It hides nicely under my clothes.
Well, I mean, if we need a distraction, we do have very interesting thing.
I also just want to point out that we are in the tiny hut.
Yeah. We're in the
tiny hut. I love it.
Oh, if you posted.
But it is going to expire soon. It's only lasts for 8 hours.
Gerald, we picked up an amulet of non-detection. Is that correct?
I did.
Okay. Well, I can cast non-detection on others if we think that might be a good idea. I can only do it 3 times, unfortunately.
I would also like to point out, Gerald, did you attune to that? Because that was never mentioned.
The attuning to the
Amulet.
amulet.
You put it in your pocket, but it was never said if you had attuned to it or not, and that I believe does require attunement.
Yes, it does. If I had not said it, then I will. Then for the sake of clarity, he will. When in the time we have here while resting, he will attune to it if he has not done already. Because I don't.
Okay, that means that you're going to lose the amulet of communication that you have.
Oh, that's why I didn't know. Because I didn't get added. So you only have because I can only have one amulet active.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I forgot about that. Come on, you can wear multiple necklaces.
Decked out in bling.
It's like a video game. You can only equip one slot at a time.
Yeah.
You can wear multiple, but doesn't mean multiple can be used at once.
Oh man!
Also, that amulet is only good for a 5-foot radius.
Can't we just go by rap videos? It's like 18 chains around your neck. They're all magic items.
Giant clock for no reason whatsoever.
Giant. Oh my god.
Hey, that's how I stop time.
Look, I love Flavor Flav. I am now about to start rocking a fucking clock on my chest.
Alright, well, as of right now, we don't have a plan. We obviously need to go in. We need to be stealthy about it. We're not going to sacrifice you, Gerald, because we care about you too much.
As I said, it was a plan. I didn't say it was a good plan.
Alright,
Yes,
okay.
He does make a point that yes, that was the first plan I came up with, and it involved me throwing myself into danger.
So let me extrapolate here. I have these spells, and Gwen pulls out her spellbook, and she shows it off to anyone who's interested.
Definitely.
Which just this is what I was planning on preparing today. I was going to do oh, you know what, I don't need comprehend languages, and oh no, that's fine. Yes, things to listen and talk to people, magic detection, I can do Tense's floating disc. All of those are ritual spells, so I can do that anytime. I can send my little hummingbird / lightning bug. I don't remember which it actually is right now. In I can listen to people. I can look for things. I can turn us invisible. I can shoot magic missiles. I can confuse people and think that they're falling into space. I can pull the shadowy blade right out of space.
Well, I have a
Be
myriad
good.
of illusions and mental suggestiveness that I can put through, but having additional stealthy options for those of us less stealthy is a good idea.
And also,
primary-
Showery, we can communicate via these necklaces.
This is very true.
So
I have access to the spell sending, so if I need to get a message to one of you, even if I can't use the necklace, I can still use the sending spell myself.
right.
I also have the spell invisibility, so in case we need multiple people to be sneaky,
Yes,
we
between
can do that.
non-detection, invisibility.
Our prime directive is to get in, get Alden, make sure it's Alden, and then get him out.
Oh,
If we can
Showery,
avoid a fight, I would prefer it.
remind me not to cast Thunderstep. That'll just alert everyone within hundreds of feet.
Yes, please don't do that.
No,
I might be able to help with the verification that this is Alden. I have a zone of truth, though that
Oh.
can be, I guess, skirted around. I always have suggestion and reading thoughts.
Saying thoughts would be a good idea. There will be several indicators. If Gwen is correct, and let us say that on the assumption that she is, then the probability of it being a trap is high. So, staying stealthy and staying close.
I did decide to choose hold person today, so that might come in
That would be
handy.
very helpful in case someone sees us and tries to alert everyone. That's who they-
Indeed. As well as dispel magic, I figured that would also be helpful. Revivify, in case anyone falls. And Death Ward. I thought that might be a good one if we find Alden in a weakened state. I can pop that on him and make sure if he does get hit, he doesn't go down.
We're gonna have a conversation later over some tea. You have some very wonderful spells. That sounds fantastic.
Right? I know. I love some of your spells too.
Oh yes, well, we'll work together. We'll figure something out.
Yes, we do need to learn how to utilize each other's
A
magic.
little switcheroo, if you will.
Indeed.
Oh,
Do you think a calm emotion spell might be useful today? Each humanoid in a 20-foot radius could be calmed.
it might come in a pinch. It
Call
might
a bunch of
be-
people, yes.
Okay.
In a very specific emergency.
Yeah. Right.
Well, that's the situation. We are
In
also
case
going to
someone's
be-
being particularly abrasive and trying to attack someone, you can calm their emotions and
Or loud,
hopefully
even.
This is true.
All right. Should we try a grift?
A what?
A grift, a bamboozlement.
a bamboozlement.
Yes. Or are we just going to creep in quietly in the back door?
Well, if the windmill itself is being used, there may not be a back door. No, because could also be. There's also the mountains. There could be a cave network nearby. It's hard to say until we get closer, because it's a lot of kind of waves towards the map. This is the general area, but a lot of the detailed work is not here. For one or various reasons.
All right. Well, if you trust this source, I say, and this is just my opinion, perhaps two of us are invisible, the other two have the no detection, and then the rest of us sort of hang back and wait for a cue to come in and help out. Does that sound like a good idea?
I agree.
Going to get.
Perhaps who will be the distraction and who will be the stealth depends on who has the highest proficiencies of those? Because
I
for
can-
spells like invisibility, you can cast it on someone else.
This is true.
Yes. Yeah. And
Granted,
a higher...
stealth.
It sounds so weird coming out of my mouth, but I've also heard that if you use stronger magic, you can target more than one person.
So we're finally in a forest setting, right?
Currently, you guys are in a forest setting bordering on the mountains. You're getting very close to the mountains.
So I have part of my race is pattern feathers for the strig. It gives me advantage. Oh come on! I didn't put any extra info in it. But basically, it gives me advantage in forested areas for stealth.
Okay.
Would that still apply in the mountainous areas if there's trees and such?
If there's trees up where you're going,
Okay.
you don't know.
Right, yeah, okay. I will share that with the group, that I'm a little extra stealthy in the wooded areas.
Alright.
If that means
in case-
staying back and staying hidden, so be it. There it is.
Sure. I do not have a great charisma, so probably not me for distractions. I do have a +6 in stealth.
Oh, yes, if we can have you be one of the invisible folks.
That can work. Somebody else also has very nice stealth.
I have a +4. Advantage if we're in the trees, but
Oh yeah,
anywhere
that could
else,
work out.
just +4.
And Gerald, you can disguise yourself. If I'm not mistaken, correct?
I have both sneaky, disguisey, and distraction-y shenanigans in my repertoire.
Okay, well, perhaps you could just be a wandering elder who's trying to make it home from Lord knows where, or a salesman, or any sort of person or creature that they definitely haven't seen before. Because if you try to imitate somebody else, especially somebody who we don't know the status of, after what happened in that jail cell, ugh. Madness.
You think the fairy face? He's very troubled by that, like a lot. He's still thinking about like.
Here's something I hadn't considered. If we come upon any corpses, I can speak with them.
You can what?
It's not something I've used before, but I can speak with the dead.
Shari, you never cease to amaze me. These are amazing gifts you have.
I don't know if they'll keep any fresh enough corpses to be of much use around the area, but
Oh, unless
you never know.
It only must have a mouth. Doesn't that's the age limit. It must have a mouth.
Well, more in that, depending on how old it is, I don't know what it would know, especially if it spent time
This is
underground. Can't
This
dig
is
up a
true.
body and ask, what's going on outside? I don't know, I've been in a hell.
It was hailing arrows last time I was outside.
Very pointy, those arrows, yes.
I took 47 in the chest.
I took one to the knee.
Oh, that's
You knew it was coming. I couldn't stop.
That's it. I'm out. Good.
I couldn't help myself.
Alright,
Oh,
well,
boy.
I'm not sorry. Anyway,
Zinzies, what is your stealth out of curiosity?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
I get
Yeah, we know.
advantage. I get advantage, but I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
I've never seen my stealth be below a +6.
I
Terrifying.
Brian will be
That
right back.
must
but
be
Gwen
terrifying.
is still plotting here.
But yes, it's not a bad thing to have, just in case. Father was always a bit stabby.
Right? Maybe he, kills a minion yesterday for bringing him his tea cold.
I mean, I don't know if he's that prevalent, but I mean, I've been gone for a good number of years. He may have gone senile.
We could also kill a god and speak with him then.
Wait,
Oh,
kill
wait,
a
hang on.
guard or kill a god?
That's what I heard.
I both, but I said guard.
Okay.
Shari,
two.
make an intelligence check for me real quick.
Okay.
the gods heard you. Excuse
That's
me.
a 5 plus 2. 7.
5 plus 2? This seems like a solid plan.
Killing a god?
Killing a guard and then asking them questions seems like a great idea.
Or we capture a god and then ask him questions.
Just saying,
I mean,
if it happens to die, we still have
It
options.
just so happens, sure.
I just didn't expect you to go directly to murder. Then, granted, I also found you all torturing two fairly deserving assholes in an alleyway. Oh.
Unfortunately, I must say that that Corvum journal has had an effect on me.
You do
Still
not
trying to
blame me
tangle
for
with
your-
that.
You do not get to blame me or, well, whatever you went through before we met you. You know what? That's another question for another day. You are the stabbiest cleric I've ever met.
Thank you.
Just like, you know what? Leaving that alone. We're not gonna go with that kind of words. So, plan. Sneak in, disguise and sneak in. A couple of invisibles, couple of lack of detections. Try get into the windmill, scope it out, see if it has upper or lower levels. Find Alden, get him, get out. Hopefully, don't have a reunion. And if we do, throw all the distractions and illusions we can at the problem, and then run.
One
Preferably.
more thing. For 10 minutes, I can be a little extra stealthy. I just realized.
That would be that is handy. Good panic button. Get the hell out. If a fight does break out, our mission is still to get him and get out. So we will be fighting going backwards.
Yeah. So trying to escape as we are fending for our lives.
Yes, because if he has any more like me sitting around with him in this situation, that not good.
I'm not sure what that means, but
He's going to be enough of a
I
handful
agree.
on his own, let alone the crew. If how many of them are still alive or around, I'm not sure, but yes. Still kind of like rubs his head, just like.
Well, if we're going to be fighting backwards, I have something that might help, but I would have to get rid of the ability to Death Ward. I could create a Guardian of Faith, and it could block a hallway fight for us, give us some time to retreat. It can
That could
attack
work.
anything within 10-foot radius.
What about the calming emotions one? Could you maybe trade out those two, or do they directly clash with one another?
They would both take a 4th level spell slot. I could get rid of the calm emotions and have the option to do either, but I can only do one. Either Death Ward or Guardian of Faith.
Okay. I think Guardian of Faith is a really good spell the worst case scenario?
I think I agree because I have enough healing that even if he does go down, or any of us go down, I can bring you back. Yeah, I'm gonna prepare Guardian of Faith.
So we more or less have a plan going into this now?
I think so.
More or less.
Get in, grab, get out. That's the basic.
And if
Eyes when needed.
it's not flawless, get out backwards.
Yes.
And maybe just for good measure, if they'll likely notice. If we get him out in time, they'll still likely to notice he's gone. So if they notice while he's gone, he just kind of taps the loot. I'll leave them something to deal with. Nothing quite brings the house down like a pack of meteors. Well, you do haven't experienced that part. Yes, my loot can summon meteors, but only once per day. It's yes. So once we are in a safe distance away, obviously.
Everyone's abilities are quite shocking, and I'm not precisely sure how to feel about any of it, but I think I'm just going to accept it as it comes.
I found it in Sprinkle's shop. I think it's in much safer hands than mine, instead of being at Sprinkle's shop.
Agreed. Big agree.
Okay.
Yes, I do adore the weasel. I also go to his shop to procure his items so that he doesn't have them anymore in case he gets bored.
All right.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, speaking of Sprinkle, I didn't see any more of his duck. I wonder if maybe he used all of his duck eggs?
Or he's hiding it in the back.
True. But,
You
just
saw the head of the duck bobbing around.
Oh, I
behind
thought
the
you
crates.
said there
No,
was.
you saw him
like,
behind the. You
top
saw
of
like
a head.
flashes of the duck behind the crates.
Oh. Okay. I
So it's
misunderstood.
sitting on the desk there. Yeah.
Right.
Have you finally got the teeth to stay in place yet?
I think there was only like 2 or 3 missing, but I can't remember how many were
He
there.
likes to wave the one around like a sword. I almost regret giving him those. Granted, I say giving. I used them as barter and chips to get stuff that I wanted, because when you're trading with a madman, the maddest things tend to be helpful in your negotiations. I also wrote him a jingle and made him posters. It's quite lovely. That jingle got around, and now I've heard people describe that they absolutely despise it, and I could not be happier.
Words from a
It's a
true
real
bard.
earworm. I'm not going to display it here because otherwise we'll be humming it the entire time we're trying to infiltrate the base. Anyway, we have our thing. He will take the ring of disguise from his bag. Would anyone like this ring of disguise, just in case? I have my hat.
It could be fun, although I feel like just brushing up against me would reveal that I'm not actually not a hedgehog.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, though, dear.
He just slip it back into his bag for now. And he will, while they're there, since he has the option of sending himself, he will take the communication ring and put it into the bag, and then he will put the anti-detection ring on, necklace on, not ring, on, and attune to that the next hour.
Okay. At this point, the hut has completely faded. But you're out in the open doing that. And you guys are able to pack up camp and start heading your way towards where it was marked on the map. As you are heading in that direction, you arrive at the base of a very steep cavern kind of entrance in the cliff. It is very tall part of the mountain. There are different alcoves throughout it. But you seem to be in the general area. Everyone make a perception check for me.
Oh.
5?
13.
13? 18?
15.
15? Gwen?
Oh, an 8, dear.
8. Changa. Sorry, my ear is itching me like crazy from having the earbud in. Shari and Gwen, you're kind of stuttering around this wall, not very successfully. Zinzi's and Gerald, as you guys are running your hand along, you notice that there is a separation that from the outside almost looks, it's kind of like an optical illusion, where it looks like a set wall until you move ever so slightly, and then you notice that there is in fact an opening. And in that opening is a decent, long rope ladder going up.
Well, this reminds me of an entertaining thing that I once watched.
Yeah, Jingles, Gerald, and will like to. Oh, that's new. I think. We found a ladder. The ladder going up here.
Do we? Is now the time?
Nobody touch it! Hang on. Can I attempt to use my finder's goggles on the ladder?
Remind me what those do?
As an action, you can use the goggles to examine an object to identify the aura of the last creature that touched it. Make a wisdom insight check against DC 13 plus the number of days since the last contact occurred. On a success, you learn the creature's type and can immediately use the goggles to cast Locate Creature and find that creature.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Insight. It's where's my insight? 7. It's 18 for my wisdom check.
And it's plus how many days?
Yes, 13 plus however many days the last contact occurred.
13 plus however many days is there.
So if it was within the last 5 days, I should be able to tell.
And who would have been the last one to use it?
List of NPCs.
Honestly, the last one to use it was probably all right, so you get let me find the right one because I had to think. All right, the last known creature to touch this was a Corvum.
Okay.
What else do you get from it?
Okay, I have to go back to it because I went over to the spells. Inventory. You learn the creature's type and can immediately use the goggles to cast Locate Creature, which I would do.
Okay,
So,
Locate
is it
Creature
within
only
1,000
works if they're in 1,000 feet of you. They are not
Correct.
in 1,000 feet of you.
Okay.
But did it say anything about the creature's nature?
No, it just says.
Okay.
On a
Just
success,
checking.
you learn the creature's type.
Okay, I thought it said type and nature, and that's why I wanted to ask.
Oh, okay. Nope. But I should have gotten a D4 added to that wisdom or the insight check because that also is a thing the Finder Dog will do. But it
doesn't matter.
So I'll let the party know that the last thing that went up this ladder was a corvo. But they are not within 1,000 feet.
How, like, tall is the thing?
Make a perception check to see how high.
Okay. I'm gonna do this.
Can I assist her? Because I just examined the object.
I mean, you can't make a perception check for somebody, but you can help them with it by.
That's what
yeah,
I meant.
you can give us. Yeah, sure, give it advantage.
Okay, I'm gonna use this dice. 'Cause it's...
What you're gonna do is you're taking your eyeballs and you look really hard at the thing.
Okay.
And you'll
So that's a 14 with advantage. Then plus my perception is 17.
17. You are going up into the mountains. It is tall. It is very high.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna turn to everybody and like, are we like officially climbing this?
Well, it's a better option than triggering all the way through this canyon and wrestling a gods know what might live in it.
And really, it's not really much of a canyon. It's basically like there were a couple alcoves into the mountain, and there's this. Like, this is the spot that was pointed out, and there's a rope ladder.
Oh?
If we can wait 11 minutes, I might be able to get an answer.
Right, should we be invisible at this point?
Also, good thing to consider.
How close are we to where we need to be?
You don't know.
I don't think we're within 1,000 feet because my locate creature did not detect anything.
Oh wait,
But that doesn't necessarily mean.
let me just try something real quick. We have seen how this person was dressed, yes?
What person?
So person, all of them? So is that?
Sergeant Alden?
Yeah.
You know his general, like, uniform.
Does he have like a special sword scabbard or like a hat or?
Not really. He dresses to travel. He dresses in light leathers. He has typically a bow, a couple of daggers. He doesn't, unlike most like perch guard, he very rarely has any emblem on him to indicate that he's a perch guard, and you can probably guess that's because he works as, for lack of a better word, a ranger with them. He's out scouting, and then he comes back.
So he probably has like a pretty signature boot then.
Sure.
I'm gonna cast Locate Boot, which is not actually a spell, but Locate Object is.
And how close do you have to be to said object?
1,000 feet.
1,000 feet? You don't detect anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna start doing my ritual cast of augury.
Augury? Okay.
Sit down, roll out some carved bones that I made, and ask, if we climb this ladder, will it lead us to the person that we were looking for? Sergeant Alden.
Okay. You take a minute to cast it, And you get a whale for good results.
This would seem to be the way.
All right, hold on 1 second. And Gwen is going to cast invisibility at you know what? 3rd level.
What are you casting?
Invisibility.
Okay.
And I will cast that on myself and Zinzi's.
Okay. Zinzi's, as you are standing at the base of this rope ladder, you watch Gwen make a few hand motions and say something, and you can't find your own hands. You can't see yourself.
And we can't see you freaking out.
And you can't see Gwen either. You're both just gone.
Gwen will politely put her back to the cliff, so that if somebody bumps into her, it will most likely not impale them.
I'm just gonna wait to cast invisibility because she only has it at 2nd level.
It's alright, yeah.
But she has a racial trait, which is I just saw it. Okay, ride the wind. As an action, you can beat your wings and ascend up to 30 feet. I can't use it again until I touch the ground. But I want to use that to kind of get a head start on the rope, and then ladder rope.
It's a rope ladder. It's both.
It's a rope ladder, yeah. And then climb up from there.
Yeah, you go up 30 feet, and you're not that much closer to the top.
That's okay. I didn't think I was, but it's at least a head start.
All right. Is everyone else following?
Should I take up the head or the toe? Either I'm heading up right after Changa, or I'm going to be the last person.
I'd say you go next.
Okay.
No offense to Gwen, but we might want the invisible ones in the back.
Perfect sense.
I agree, dear. I agree. And I'm still here.
All right. As you all begin your ascent up towards dangers unknown, we will pick up here again in 2 weeks' time.
I knew you said dangers unknown. Like, yeah, we're kidding. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna be dangling on a ladder.
Thank you guys for playing. Thank you for anyone who decided to watch us either here on Twitch or on YouTube in the future. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.